Okay, this is a video about this small power adapter. It is labeled as a model ALP, as in Papa 002, although you will, as we're going to find out later, that's a lie. It is rated at DC output of 3 to 24 volts, 1.5 amps, and it's adjustable. It also has a power switch built into the potentiometer. So, okay, the reason I got this is that it would replace things like this, these little wall warts that had various voltage ranges. This one has 1.5 to 12 volts. It's 1.5, 3, 4.5, 6, 7.5, 9, and 12 volts. This one is continually variable, and we'll hook this thing up and show you here. So it starts out, in this case, at 3.5 volts. It doesn't really go down to 3 volts like it says. And then it's continuously variable up to 24.3 volts. And let's check the accuracy of that. So, alright, let's see if we can do this without blocking the view. So you can see as it goes up, it kind of gets more and more out of its accuracy. It gets kind of worse as it goes up. But, yeah, you know, it's fairly accurate for the girls we go out with. And so I'm going to take this and we're going to see if I can get this so it doesn't keep falling over. Alright. We're going to put it on my load tester. Now, I don't know how much this is properly separated from mains, so we're going to, I have it on my isolated bench power supply, and we're going to run it up to its rated amp rating, which it says that it can do 60, I don't remember if this one says 60 amps, I'm sorry, 60 watts, but we're going to run it up to its rated amp rating of 1.5. and you'll notice that the voltage dropped a bit. It reads 3.53 here, but it's 3.13 at 1.5 amps. So we're going to bring that up. And we're at 3.8 watt hours, 20 watts. So 24 volts, yes, I remember. This thing is rated at 36 watts. So you can see that it can handle its rated capacity of 1.5 amps. I have tested this all the way up to 2 amps, and I'll explain why I did that here in a little bit. It can do it. It it loses a bit of accuracy when you get up in that range, but you could probably push this as high as 3 or 4 amps, but it would probably get very warm, and I'll explain why you can do that in a little bit here. So anyways, let's get this thing off of here. And I'm sure everyone wants to see inside this. I'm not Big Clive, so I haven't reverse engineered it, but I have taken it apart. And I have a second one. And to get this apart it's not held together by any screws. It's actually held together by just clips on the inside of here. You have to get a spudger in here, and there's a clip here, here, and here, 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 and here. I think that's it. And then once you get it open, it reveals a small hobby voltmeter, hence its accuracy, which can be unplugged. The number on this is HKS or a 5, I'm not sure, dash D36 underscore V1.0. Unfortunately, I cannot find any information on this specific voltmeter, but I believe its size is such that you could replace it with another one of similar dimensions. Okay, so let's get into this thing. First, let's zoom in a bit. Stop the bouncing. It took me a bit to find out what components were in this thing, the ones that I could read. There is a chip on this side which was labeled as it's made by Sen, S-E-N, labeled as W7E2074, P as in Papa, which that number pulls up nothing. And then the other number on it was OSPF as in Frank. So it's Oscar Sam Papa Frank 5 November 60C, and that pulls up a 600 volt 5 amp MOSFET. Then on this side there is a STPR10 fast recovery rectifier, which has a max, which can handle 10 amps max or 5 amps per diode. That's why I was saying you could probably push this thing to close to 4 amps. Probably wouldn't recommend it. The only thing holding this in here is the Celastic. Interestingly, the input power leads are heavier than the output, which is another reason why you don't really want to push this past much further past its 1.5 amps, because those are pretty anemic. I'm not sure of the wire gauge. I think it might be 24, which limits it to like around 3 amps. And then here's the other side. None of these components are identifiable except for maybe some of the resistors and such. They either are all blacked out or have codes on them that I can't read. I do notice that this has the option for 3 different size potentiometers. I don't know if you can see it in there, but there's a set, 3 different sets of connections for potentiometers. So this is also not an ALP002. It's actually a KJS1509. If you do a search on that, you find a whole series of these little power modules that go all the way up to 36 volts, and some of them do 60 watts. The information I could find indicates that there is one that does 25 watts or 25 amps, which I find hard to believe. But that was going off some information that was badly translated. I do see that there's a nice, is it my reading of small things is difficult, but I think this is a cross the line cap. There's a rectifier here. El Cheapo no name capacitors. Anyways, maybe one day Big Clive will do a video on these. So that's it for the ALP002, aka KSJ1509 or whatever I said earlier. That's it. Thanks for watching.